everyone, and welcome to the DI Dashboard webinar. My name is Shawnee, and I'm the trainer for Dealer Inspire. And basically, my job is to teach you everything that you need to know about Dealer Inspire, all the great things that we do here. So if you have any questions during the webinar, please send them via the chat board there on your GoToMeeting. You can also send emails to any of us, or I know sometimes you guys can contact your AMs during, and that's quite fine. But you'll have plenty of opportunity to get any of your questions answered and to speak with Allyn Hane, who is our guest. Many of you know him as the dashing and dapper Allyn Hane with great hair, but some of you may not know that he is also a lawn care nut. So much that he should probably be tested, but that's not my business. So when the webinar is over, we'll have it up on our website within 24 hours, so you'll be able to catch it there as well. And please feel free to visit the website at dealerinspire.com/DI How Do I. All kinds of great stuff there. We have a fact page, and we have the past webinars. And you can also subscribe to our YouTube channel where all the webinars are there, so you can binge watch. Because who needs orange is the new black when you have DI How Do I webinars? So we're going to go ahead and get started. So Allyn is going to talk to us all about YouTube SEO. So you made the video. It's awesome. It's great. You even have it, plugged it into your Dealer Inspire plugin using a YouTube plugin. But now you got to get people to follow you and watch it and love it and tell all their friends about it. So without further ado, Allyn, I'm going to let you take it away, brother.
All right, going to turn the controls over.
Yes, sir.
While that's going on, I'm just so you guys know, I'm in a dealership here. I'm tethering on my phone, so I'm hoping that my connection is good enough. If it does go slow or lag, Shawnee will let me know, or you guys can type it in the chat.
All right. You are just under Allyn, right? Because hold on for 1 second. Ah, there we go. Technology.
There we go. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yep, we're good.
Okay. Thanks, y'all, for being on today. Those of you who've sat on my presentations before, whether it be on these webinars or Driving Sales Executive, you'll know that I speak really fast, and I do that not to confuse you or to not give information. It's because I usually pack way too much into these. But I'm going to try to go a little bit slower today and still pack a lot of information in, but try to get this in under 35 or 40 minutes. So here we go. So let's talk about my YouTube channel. It is called The Lawn Care Nut. Now, I know what a lot of you are going to think. What does a lawn care YouTube channel have to do with automotive? And the answer is because it works anywhere. You could be a landscaper, you can be a plumber, you can sell automobiles, you can be a doctor, and YouTube works the same way. It's all about good, compelling content. So everything I've learned from my personal YouTube channel that I've actually conducted from my front yard is very much transferable to you. So with that, I'm going to give you a little bit of history here. So I started my channel in 2009, and I put 2 videos up. It was kind of I had a blog that I had in 2007 and 8 that did really well, that got 30,000 visitors a month that I sold. And once I sold it, I said, I want to go onto YouTube. So I did 2 videos. I was so motivated in 2009 that I did 2 videos. In 2010, I actually did 3 videos. And in 2011, I did none. 2012, 7, then 14, then 70, and this year, 24 so far. The reason I show this is because this looks like a lot of dealership YouTube channels that I see too. Someone comes in, they get motivated, they back out. Someone comes in, comes out. Just showing you that once you do put an effort into it, here's some of the things that you can get from it. So these are the views that I got during those same years. So my first 2 videos in 2009, I had a whopping 217 views. 2010, 3,500. But look at 2011, 80,000. Now, that comes from at the end of 2010. In fact, on Christmas Day of 2010, I made a video that I wanted to test because on Christmas, I don't spend time with family or sitting under the Christmas tree. I mess around on the internet. And I made a video, and I tested it for SEO purposes. I wanted to see if I could rank a YouTube video in regular search, and the answer was yes. And that video received 52,000 views in 2011. So that's why I did not do any videos that year, because I was kind of doing some experiments SEO-wise. 2012, I decided to do 2 more tests, as well as a couple of videos, so 189,000 views. 82,000 came from the previous test, and 70,000 from 2 other tests. Again, these are just pure SEO tests, good content, but I wasn't really looking for anything other than to see a video in regular Google search and Yahoo search and everywhere else. 2013, I went ahead and did 14 videos. Now, I have to say that during the years of 2009 until about the middle of 13, I was working for a lawn care company called True Green, and so I had some non-compete stuff there too. They didn't really want me out on the internet giving out lawn care secrets when I worked for them. So that's another reason why I didn't do too much or go too gangbusters with it, and that's why I just did a few tests. But you can see there in 2012 some good views. 2013 decided to go ahead and kick it up a notch there, and 331,000 views. Again, mostly from the test fits. 2014, I said, you know what, I want to make a go of this. I want to see what I can do. And I did 70 videos. This is all on weekends pretty much in my spare time, which is usually when I'm mowing my lawn. I would actually set a camera up in my front lawn, which is very funny because my neighbors would stare. Most of them did not have guts to come ask me what I was doing, but they anyway, so 70 videos, 742,000 views, no tests. It's just a very good content strategy, and this year so far, 24 videos. So now let's look at one more thing, the subscribers that came in from this. So everything's there. You can see the same type of progression. 2014 was my biggest year for subscribers at 4,300. However, this year, just through May, I'm already almost beating that. I'm over 10,000 subscribers now. The pace looks, I'll be at 20,000 by the end of this year. So what does all that mean? And again, what can you do with that? So the first thing to realize is you need to create content regularly. I did a couple tests early on, but my real velocity came, and velocity is a term that any of you who have worked in any type of content marketing know that there's a term called content velocity, and it's basically for gets rewarded. Create content that draws engagement. There's nothing new there. Everybody thinks, well, there's a lot of videos out there on the market that talk about how to, what they're about and walk-arounds and all that, but you've got to give it from a different perspective. You've got to give it from an interesting perspective, a local perspective, or it can even be the person giving those. Also keep in mind that engagement spawns community. I don't ever want you to forget that YouTube is a social network. I know nobody ever says that, but that's what it is. It's a social network. Communities influence others. So once you have a community built, then the group mentality says, I can tell you right now that when people see my channel, one of the biggest things that YouTube will say is how many subscribers I have. And when Google sees, or when people are surfing through and they go, well, there's the lawn care nut has 10,000 subscribers, they want to be a part of that because, wow, this must be successful with this many subscribers. And of course, I'm not even that big. There's YouTubers out there with 5 or 10 million subscribers, and it snowballs. So we're not going to talk about content from here on out because that's what Honda Pro Jason talked about a couple weeks ago, how to do good, engaging content. What I want to talk about is once you're committed to it, how to take your channel to that next level. What are the things you can do to rank and to show up? So if you're committed, let's do it. Again, keep in mind, I have 2 million views on only 100. It isn't like you have to make 6,000 videos to do this. If you're really careful and you're really engaged in the videos you do, I've done 120 total. That's it. Most channels that have the views that I have done over 1,000 videos. So you have to be deliberate and methodical here and really plan out your content. All right, so a few things to think about as we continue. When we're creating, I want you to put yourself in Google's shoes. In other words, the biggest takeaway there is don't link out all the time. Google makes money by keeping users on YouTube. So we don't want to take every video and try to push people away from YouTube. Yourself in their shoes. Secondly, YouTube's a social network. SEO basics on YouTube, they're the same as the regular internet, even though the algorithm is much simpler on YouTube. And the power of sight and sound gives you authority. This is the one place on the internet where you can mimic TV. Most of our marketing efforts that we do, you cannot mimic television, but you can on YouTube because you have sight and sound, and sight and sound draws trust and authority. Okay, again, what we're not going to talk about, we're not going to talk a lot about creating videos or as far as creating content. But I will say the content you create needs to be unique to you, unique and compelling. Think about different sides of of the coin here. It doesn't always just have to be about cars. It can be about the awesome people that you work with. Show it. Write down this term, VLOG, vlog. I'm looking for someone out there that will do a true daily vlog from a dealership and show the ins and outs. No one's doing that. There's a lot of mystique around the way cars are sold and the way it works, and if we could find the right person out there that could do a daily vlog and talk about the car business, it would be a huge win. What you do is very, very interesting, and I want, even though you do it every day, interesting, and the things that you sell are full of eye candy. Be personal and transparent, and the story is what matters. I want you to tell a story, and I'm not going to click on this, but there's an audience for everything. If you think something won't work, it will. This link here goes to a guy, his name is Uncle Steve, and what he does is he pulls over to the side of the road in random places and pulls out his fishing pole, and he fishes in these nasty, crappy lakes and streams behind gas stations all over the country, and he has thousands and thousands of viewers, and all he is a dude catching small little junk fish in junk ponds. There is an audience for everything. The last thing I wanted to say before we move into some of the nuts and bolts here is that I often hear people say, well, I think YouTube is just full of heads. So this is right out of my creator studio, it's called. It's where it's for YouTube. And you can see there that my audience is 86% male, between 25 and 44. That also happens to be a really sweet car buying market. So the idea here is that it's not a bunch of kids.
Hey, Allyn.
All right.
Hey, Allyn.
Yes.
We got a quick question here. So, one of our listeners wants to know. So how does this apply to hyper local car search versus national traffic on lawn care tips? So for that dealership that is really just focused in that one small town or that one area, how does this apply to them?
Yeah. So that is a question we get too. So there is no way in a YouTube organic strategy to say I only want people from Crown Point, Indiana to see my stuff. That's impossible to do. The idea here is that you're going to go out and you're going to dominate YouTube, knowing that if you dominate the country, then you also dominate your local area. The other thing is, this goes back to our friend Honda Pro Jason, who had his webinar a couple weeks ago, and if you talk to him, people came from all over the country to see him in his Honda dealership in Schaumburg, Illinois. So this is definitely a higher level. The other thing I want y'all to consider is that these videos are not just for organic search. Any video that you do inside your dealership when you guys are working leads can be used and sent to prospects. So if you've done something on, inside the car that's really cool, this is the neat leather seats, you can send that to people. If you do a general walk around, you can send that to people that your working leads are. Look, this is local. So there's a lot of other reasons to use this. Also, these should be embedded all over your website. So there's a lot of uses outside of that, but technically there is no way to target local. But that doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. Good question. Okay, let's go into a couple things here. So what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to show you some screenshots now. We're going to talk first about optimizing your YouTube channel. So we're going to talk about the channel name. I personally prefer that to be a brand and keyword. So many times I'll see a YouTube channel and it's called Chicago Honda, and it's for a local dealer. I would rather see the brand there, Allyn Hane Honda. People search brands, and Google knows what your brand is, and Google likes to see brand search. We're going to talk about channel description, channel keywords, and associating a website. So I'm going to minimize here, and I'm going to go to my desktop really quick. So the first place we're going to be is right here. So these are actual screenshots from YouTube. The first thing that's interesting is these ads are targeted at you. And when I was doing this webinar, they're targeting me for a binge eating disorder. So I recently went gluten-free. I don't know if that's considered to be an eating disorder, but whoever that advertiser is must think I need help. Anyway, so what you do is you go up here and you click under your face, and you come up to here, and you're going to click what's called the Creator Studio, and that's where we're going to go, and that's where we're going to live here for a little bit. When you get in there, I want you to go over here, and I want to show you traffic sources right here. And then I'm going to show you YouTube search. Now you can see these are the different ways that I get traffic. This is the last 28 days of my inside of my channel here. And so YouTube suggested video is my #1 traffic source. We're going to talk about that. But YouTube search is #2. And what you're going to see when I click in there is you're going to see my brand name get searched. I'm the Lawn Care Nut. So that right there And guys, I don't even have a real brand. I'm just some dude in his front yard on Saturday. You guys actually have a real brand. That's who you are. You're a real brand. So there's some brand searches there. And when you look in your YouTube Creator Studio, you should see that brand search as well. Because this goes back to people obviously will research for reviews, and they go all online and they'll research your brand name plus the word reviews. Well, they're also going on YouTube and searching your name. And they want to see what your YouTube presence looks like. They want to see what it looks like inside your dealership. Is it fun there? What are the people like? So that's another reason why a YouTube channel is good to have active, because it's a way to tell your story to people that are searching and understanding and learning about you. But the big thing I want you to see here is that my #1 keyword search from YouTube is the key term lawn care. Makes sense. It's in my name, but it's also my #1 keyword that I target. It's also the golden keyword in this niche. So I wanted you to see that. That's my #1 traffic source for search. So this is the channel out in regular YouTube, my channel. And you're going to see here that I'm on the About. And you can see this is my description, and you'll see the very first thing is lawn care advice. The word lawn care a couple times in this description. So the key takeaway here is pick a keyword that is going to be your #1 golden keyword that you're going to use throughout everything you do on YouTube, not just in this description, but you're going to see it in other places. It's also, this description is not spammy. It's folksy. It means something. It talks to humans. I'm not keyword stuffing it, but I definitely got the word a couple times. Next, while we're here, I want to show you. Actually, I'll go back to Twitter later. Sorry. Let me go back over here. All right. We're still going to optimize the channel here. So now we're going to go here. We are inside our Creator Studio again. By the way, this is being recorded, so I realize it's hard to follow all this. So at the very end, we'll show you where the recording is, and then on top of that, I'm going to send you a tutorial that Google put out that'll show you how to do some of this. So we're back inside of our Creator Studio, and we're going to go under Channel, and we're going to go under Advanced. And what we see here are a place to put in channel keywords. Now, those of you who are savvy, you know that on the regular internet, we don't use meta keywords, M-E-T-A, anymore. In fact, that can be seen as a spam signal. However, in YouTube, keywords mean a lot. Keep in mind that YouTube's algorithm and their spam controls are several years behind regular Google search. So a lot of things that used to work on the regular internet that don't work anymore still work in YouTube, and one of those is keywords. And see, there is my word, lawn care. That is still my golden keyword. The other thing, take and disable here, because you don't want to have other ads alongside of your videos. You also don't want to monetize your channel. You don't want your competitors putting pre-roll on your videos, but you also don't want your competitors advertising next to your videos. So that should be one of those that you should probably check. We're going to continue scrolling down, so we're still under Advanced here. And it's very important to associate your website here. What happens when you do this is Google kind of understands then that your website and your YouTube channel are together. They're the same thing. So Google's algorithms will almost look at them as one single entity and doesn't see a big difference between the YouTube channel and your regular website. And that's very important because Google rewards brands. And when you hook your brand up, because think about it, your website has got SEO going on. It's also got a Google My Business local card hooked up to it. Now you have a YouTube channel hooked up to it. And by the way, if you can do this all into the same login, that's very smart. What this does is, again, it kind of creates this what I call SEO backflow, where the two can kind of feed off each other. The YouTube channel is strengthened by your website. The website is strengthened by your YouTube presence. So you want to do that. It's a very easy tutorial to do this. You can do it through Webmaster Tools. You can do it through putting something on your website. If you guys need help with this, contact your account manager for your Dealer Inspire website, and we will help you do this or support. Next, you definitely want to make sure that this here is checked as please allow my channel to appear in other channel recommendations. This is like what I call the Amazon effect. One of the things that makes Amazon so great is that when you go and look at products, they'll recommend other products that are similar. And if you guys are anything like me, I almost always buy the add-on because it's perfect. I buy a camera, they want to sell me a card. You know, I buy a wine stopper, they want to sell me, I don't know, a wine rack. It always works. And that's what YouTube does too. If you're a heavy YouTube user like me, in fact, I hardly watch TV anymore. I almost always watch YouTube. Almost all their recommendations are spot on, and they're based on what I've been watching. This is definitely checked. If this is not checked, it's almost an SEO killer in a way. Now we'll go ahead and talk about, real quick, I keep wanting to talk about Twitter, but I think I'm going to push that one down a little more. All right. So there is some quick ways to optimize your channel itself. Now let's talk about video optimization. So this works very, very similar to the way things work on the web. We have titles, descriptions, and keywords. They still matter. And then we're going to talk a little bit about playlists also, because that's getting a lot more play. So here we are. I've got one of my videos open in the, and this is a video that has 407,000 views. This is one of those tests that I did a couple of years ago, and 407,000 views is pretty good. And so my key term here is lawn striping, how to mow stripes in your lawn. If you guys ever watch baseball games, people always, they'll see, every time they're watching a baseball game or a soccer game, they see the stripes in the field. People go search that because they want to know how to do it. So I answered that question. And by the way, this is another key term or a key tip that goes along with content is if you can answer a question or solve a problem, you will win every time. So lawn striping, you'll see that's my keyword for this particular video, and you'll see that it appears in the description twice. That's very important. The other thing is the initial 160 characters matter the most. This is very similar to how things work. Meta descriptions, these are called, works the same way on the regular internet as it does here. However, you're certainly welcome to put a lot more. I don't think you should write a book in here, but if it makes sense to write more to tell the humans this video is about, you can do that. I'd like to point out is that I do a internal links, and I'll probably say this a couple times, is I link to other videos inside of my channel back and forth. Just like we do on your regular website, you know, if we do a page about one of your models, we're going to link to search inventory here, contact us over there. These are all links, internal links. Or maybe you want to look at another model page, we'll link to that. Internal links help SEO for sure, and Google likes them because they help the humans navigate your website. And the same thing, it works on YouTube. If you can show people, hey, by the way, you looked at this video, and I've got very similar that would also help you, Google really likes that, again, because that keeps people on YouTube. And for us, it keeps people on our channel. Another way to do that is through what are called annotations. We're not going to talk about those too much today, but they're another type of internal link that you should use. All right, so there we go, meta description right there, and internal links. I do link out here too, by the way. Right here, this is an affiliate link where I can sell stripers, and I'm okay with linking out every once in a while. You can link out to your own website again because Google sees those as the same, but don't go too crazy. Here's another video. This is a recent one I did last weekend. It's called How to Dominate Your Neighbor's. We could talk a little bit here about thumbnails. They don't have an SEO effect, but they definitely increase the click-through rate. So you can put up custom thumbnails if you like. I just happen to get lucky in one of the 3 that they chose. But make your thumbnail talk a little, or be a visual representation of what the video is about. Don't try to make them funky or try to be crazy with this or get you know, funky. Make the thumbnail tell the story of what's in the video. Internal link. So if you watch this video, which is a good video by the way, you will see that in the video I mentioned it up below to a video where I talk about how lawn striping works. And by the way, if you look below in the description, I'll talk about how to do this and how to do that, how to fertilize your lawn. And I put those in this description here. More internal links. Very, very important. Now let's talk about tags. So every video gets tags. So the first few tags should be what the video is about. What is it? What are people going to understand in here? What are they going to see? What are they going to learn? And then I want the last 2 to 3 tags to always be the same in every single video. So for me, I have 2 brands. I have my name as a brand, and I have the lawn care nut, and then my primary channel keyword, which is lawn John's Honda and then Honda dealer. Those would be maybe the last two every single time. We do that because we want to keep some consistency in our videos so Google knows that they're all related, at least in some way. So you do that through the tags. So the very last two tags every single time should be your brand and your primary channel keyword. All right, I want to look at playlists now. Playlists used to not be such a big deal, but Google's really put a lot into them recently. They've got some new tracking for playlists. You can see I'm on my live YouTube channel right now. This is so you got your channel name, your videos, and your playlists. So this is a playlist here. It's all about lawn striping. And the first thing I want to show you here is that you can put in a description for that playlist. Very important. So each video in here has got its own description, but the playlist itself can get a description because playlists are now starting to rank in YouTube. YouTube, they've realized, or Google has realized, if we can get people to watch playlists, longer on our channel. This is also leading, just so you guys know, to where they're going to start trying to compete with Netflix. That binge watching that Shawnee was talking about for Orange is the New Black, which I can't wait for that new season to come out, by the way. People binge watch that stuff. And YouTube wants people to start binge watching playlists. So that's just my little opinion on why they're doing this. But so we want to give a really nice description here. You don't want to stuff it, but definitely for me, lawn striping, that is the keyword for this playlist. And so the playlist has a title and a nice description. And then interestingly enough, you can give another description over here. And what that, whoops, get to watch it, sorry. So this has SEO value here because this is somebody kind of perusing this playlist. Watch it from the beginning. They can still understand what each of these individual videos is about. I highly recommend that you put these in as well because these are more SEO value. So any content, just think of this as content. Any content or text is powerful for SEO and powerful for search. So the key takeaway here is give you playlist, nice SEO title and description, and then also give each individual one a little blurb so people can understand what's in that playlist. So playlists are what I call a content silo, S-I-L-O, silo. We used to do a lot of siloing, I say in the old days of the internet, in 2007 and 2008. I used to make my blogs all in silos because a silo was a very powerful way to rank. You could rank an entire section of a website rather than one page. And that's really what this is, a silo content strategy, and Google is actually encouraging it. All right, let's go to our next one, links. So if you haven't noticed, we're just talking about general SEO here. We've got content, we've got meta, we've got descriptions, and now we have links. This is same as SEO has always worked. So the first thing is internal links. I'm not going to talk about those anymore because I have talked about those a lot. Next are external links, and I can just tell you this. If you want to rank a video in YouTube, the more links you get, the faster and easier it will rank. Now, I'm not telling you to spam for links. I'm never going to tell you to do that. But I will tell you that if you can get links to your videos, they will rank in YouTube and in regular search. So how do we get links? Well, one great thing is you guys are Dealer Inspire clients. So when you log into your Dealer Inspire WordPress login here, I happen to be on Cox Chevrolet with just a test here, and you go over to posts. This is essentially your blog, and you hit add new, and up comes a nice, what's called a WYSIWYG. What you see is what you get. Now this is on Cox Chevrolet, so I'm not going to put this lawn domination post on his site, even though Chris Cox would probably be glad if I did. I'm not going to do that, but you can see here I've got the key. First thing is you want to embed a text. By the way, in case you want to know, here's how you actually embed a video. Let me pull that off there. You go here to the share button, and you hit the word embed, and there's the code. Now you can change the sizing and all kinds of stuff, but if you want, you just go back over into the text editor, and that's what I did right here. I pasted it. It's an iframe. So that's the first thing you do, is you paste in the video and embed it. By the way, an embedded video is a linked video. Google wants to see videos embedded in other places, and they count that as a link. I've got links some really cool links on like Coldwell Banker and Century 21, and some of the big real estate companies have taken my videos from YouTube and embedded them on their websites, and I love that. Number one, I would love people to view my content anywhere they're at, just as you would, but for Coldwell Banker or Century 21 to take my videos and embed them, that's a big signal to Google that I got some pretty good content, which makes sense, right? It's about lawn care, and people want to sell their houses, and a beautiful lawn will sell your house. So embedded videos are links. The other thing you want to do, though, is you want to give your video what's called a boilerplate link. That's what I call it right here. And what boilerplate is it's essentially the title of the video. So the title of this is How Do You Dominate Your Neighbor's Lawn? So I did a nice hyperlink here to the video with those keyword anchor phrases. Now that's best. It's got the keyword lawn care in there, but keep in mind that part of SEO is not just the link, but it's the words that are framed inside of that link. Those tell Google something that this video is about. Google uses those words as a signal to what the video on the other end is about. So it's pretty easy to do that. All you do is you go up here to the video itself. I'm not actually on this video, I'm on a playlist, but you hit this word here, share. I'm not going to share the playlist, I'm just going to share the video. So I take that and I Control-C to copy it. I go back into my blog here and I put lawn care tips or whatever the video is about. Highlight it, hit this little insert link button here, paste in my video. I like that I've got this. I'm going to go ahead and open in a new window, add a link, and now I've put a link to the video. So the key here is through your blog. So let's go to you guys. Let's say that you do something on winter car maintenance, and so you do a little video on that. So then you go to your blog and you write a nice blog post about winter car maintenance. You embed the video on there that you created about winter car maintenance, and then you link to it from your blog post with the key term winter car maintenance. That is exactly how you're going to gain some links very simply and very easily. And then, of course, you're going to publish that. So that's how you use Dealer Inspire's blogging platform. By the way, all the pages on your website that have anything to do with anything can get a video on them. It'll also help your pages themselves. Any type of rich media that you have on your website pages always helps with that. All right, social. I keep wanting to mention Twitter. I've done that like 3 times now, so let's talk about that. Inside, we're going to go back to this screenshot here. Click over here on your face. Instead of going to Creator Studio, you're going to click this gear right here. There you can do what are called connected accounts, and I would highly recommend you hook up your dealership's Twitter handle there. Why would you want to do that? Because it's going to give you free links. Remember, we're talking about links here. And you can see that this is my Twitter feed right here. Mike, the Shark Dizog, he liked one of my YouTube videos. Now, that means that he's got his own Twitter hooked up to YouTube. And that's great. That's a link. But it also pinged me in my notifications, so it creates another post. So now this video right here, this URL has been hit in at least my feed and his as a link. And this happens all the time. These are links to my content. Now, a lot of people say, Allyn, are social links valuable? And the answer is yes, they're very valuable because Google indexes them. I went to Google and I searched, I liked at YouTube video from Allyn Paul, and the very first result is an indexed link from Google right there to one of my videos. See, there is my video right there. AC Johnson twittered about me, and Google has indexed that. I'm going to tell you right now, if Google indexes it, then Google follows it. I don't care about no follow or do follow links. All I care about is that Google sees the link. And social mentions have a lot of weight because YouTube is a social network. So hook in your YouTube channel. Really, really encourage you to do that. Next, Facebook. So there's a lot of people that'll tell you that your videos you make, you should upload those natively to Facebook. And what that means is you shouldn't just paste your YouTube link over there. You should actually upload the video itself into Facebook. And the answer is yes, you should do that. But because so few people see your content, it's okay a couple of days later to go ahead and then paste the YouTube video and say, hey, in case you missed it, here's our great video we did on winter car care tips. And now you just got a nice link from Facebook to your content. The other thing is to crowdsource this, and every employer or friend that you have them go to this little section right here, have them watch the video, of course, and then go right here and hit that Pinterest link, and then pin that video like I'm about to do right here on lawn care for the masses. And now I just pinned my video on Pinterest. That quick, and I'm done. And I just got another link. And by the way, I actually have people that repin my pins, and I have never actually gone onto Pinterest ever. But people find my stuff and they repin it, and that's just more links. You can do the same thing for Twitter right there. You can click that and tweet. So you can ask your friends, your family. By the way, it works on LinkedIn. I don't really know what some of these other things are. I don't use Dig. I used to use Dig in like 1999. I don't know if anybody still uses that. But anyway, nice way to get links. So have your friends do that and do that for yourself. Almost done. Let's talk about social now. So YouTube is a social network, period. Being social. So basically the key takeaway here for you to go in, be social, and to comment on other videos that are similar to yours. Now, don't go on a Ford dealer that's three blocks away from your Ford dealership, but definitely go in and comment on other very relatable and leave good comments. Be social. Be real. The way to know if Google really understands you, a little litmus test you can do, is to go to your channel like I have, and I'm going to scroll down, and on the right, I'm going to see here related channels on YouTube. You want to enable that. I did not create this. Google creates this. And Google is saying, well, we think you're related to this guy. His name is Geek to Freak Fitness and Lawn Care. 1,000 subscribers. Top-notch lawns. I guys now as far as it goes. When I say I know them on YouTube, these are all lawn care guys. B&B Lawn Care. This is my neighbor. I helped. He's an 11-year-old lawn kid. I helped him start his own channel. That's a really fun thing for me to do. But he's related to me in the net. So you can see these are people. Now, how did Google know this? Because at the beginning of 2014, I made it a strategy that 3 times a week I would go and find other lawn care channels, and I would start to comment and interact with them as myself, the Lawn Care Nutter, as my channel. And because I did that, Google started associating me with them. And I'm going to log in just really fast, and then we're going to be done, and I'm going to show you the traffic that I now get from these guys. So I'm going to go over here to traffic sources. This is live data. I hope this is cycling through. So this defaults to the last 28 days. I've had 250,000 views. And you can see here when I go to YouTube suggested video, this is my #1 traffic source. And what you're going to find, this one right here, is from that guy, Geek to Freak Fitness and Lawn Care. From his videos, I've been referred 5,500 times in the last 28 days. I also get some from This Old House and some other ones, and some of these are my own. But when you see me going through here, that's what these are. A lot of these are people that I have commented with and worked with over time, and I'm now getting referrals from their videos because Google has associated us together. So the takeaway here is, once you start posting videos, is go to other YouTube channels that are similar and be social with them, not on their old stuff, but on their newer stuff. Truly become a social part of a social community. The other piece of that puzzle is, this guy is bigger than me. He's the only one. And every time I start commenting on his stuff, I end up getting more subscribers because they see me commenting on him when they see my name, the Lawn Care Nut. They're like, I want to see what that is. And they come over to my channel. They watch a couple videos because I have good content, and they subscribe. This is a great way to build community, not only with fellow YouTubers, but also with other people that are watching their content that would also like to watch yours. And it goes back to that community mentality. The more subscribers you have, the more authority you have. It's like a snowball running downhill. Okay, that's all the content I have. Now I've got some time for questions because I think that is where a lot of this might come up to here. So,
Hey, Alan.
Go ahead, Sean. You want to see what you got?
Yeah, I had we got a question from Charlie. Hold on, getting a little bit feedback.
I see one here. It says, so for length, Toyota does a huge amount of content in their descriptions. Do you think that affects things positively for them? I definitely don't think it hurts. Yeah, you can never have too much content as long as it's compelling and original. But then there's overkill too, because we got to think about the humans. Humans that are on YouTube are not there to read a book. If they were, they'd go to a blog. They're there to watch. So for me, the description needs to tell the humans and Google what they're going to see in that video, and then maybe some other things about your YouTube channel or other videos you've done that could help them get more in-depth information. Other than that, I don't see a need to do more. There used to be, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, there was some folks out there that would say that you should type the transcript from the video in the description, and I was never a fan of that. Again, I want everything to be original. So just make a nice description that tells what people are going to see in the video, and you're done. Great question. What else you got?
All right, so Brian says a question. So you talk about producing content. Is there a benchmark people should shoot for?
Yeah, so that back to content velocity. I like 1 video per week at a minimum, and that's what mine is. I do 1 per week. Now I did a few more than that last year, but for the most part, 1 per week is going to be good. Any other questions?
Yeah, there's quite a few coming in. Okay, so Dawn, she says her Jeep links to her homepage of her YouTube channel, and it links to the homepage. I wanted to link to my videos directly. You know how to change the YouTube Plus.
Yes, on Google Plus. Yeah, so we can do that. I wouldn't be able to show you that in this webinar, but whoever asked that, if you want to contact support or you want to contact, actually just have them contact you, Shani, and then we can show them how to do that. I saw here that my audio was bad. Has the audio been okay through this?
It's been kind of spotty. And now mine is too. Keep going down. There's quite a few questions coming in.
Somebody asked, what did I mean SEO test? So I'll just show you. I'm going to go into incognito window, and I'm going to do how to mow lawn stripes like this. This is an incognito window. And you see 2 of my videos showing up there in regular search. That was my SEO test. So you would think Skag is, they make commercial lawnmowers, or the orange ones, but you would think other people would show up there, but they don't. That's me. That was my SEO test. So somebody said another popular tip is to put the name of a popular channel related to your video so you show up in the recommended videos. I'm not a fan of that. Yes, it works, but to me it's spammy unless I am actually mentioning that channel. So I follow a guy on YouTube. His name is Casey Neistat. He's extremely cool. He's an awesome person. He's very, very motivational. And so this is him right here, actually, Casey Neistat. So I've done videos on other channels that I have where I talk about him, and in that case I will mention him, but I don't do it as a tactic unless it's actually related to the video. Let's see, benchmark we talked about. Oh, this is a great one. How do I feel about dealerships doing cell phone quick videos about their inner dealership workings? Yes, I think cell phones are the cell phone that you guys hold in your hand is a high definition camera. There are filmmakers out there that shoot completely just on iPhones. So I'm a really big fan of taking your iPhone out, doing some nice content about this or that, and putting that up on YouTube as long as it's compelling and original. Yeah, and actually the person said, I'm Steve at the service bay. Here's a couple cool things we saw today. Yes, that's huge. You guys find all kinds of stuff in service that like people never even know. Like I had mice had made like a nest on top of my cabin air filter one time, and my dealer found it. I'm like, dude, we need to do a YouTube video about this. I didn't, but I should have. So he goes, yeah, it happens all the time. I'm like, dude, that's a YouTube video right there. And guess what? Every time I go see my dealer now, I haven't changed the cabin air filter because I'm freaked out about it. Even if it doesn't need to be done, I still have them do it.
Some other questions. Crystal mentioned that make sure you always record in landscape, especially when you're doing the YouTube cell phone videos.
Yeah, for sure. And especially if you're going to record like a fight on the street, please do that in landscape. It makes it easier for me to view. I don't like watching street brawls that are not in landscape.
So Brian, that kind of answers your question too. He wanted to know what's the biggest mistake you see people making when making a quick smartphone video.
No, the biggest mistake is they don't take action. They think it's too much to do this. They start and stop. That's the biggest mistake. You have to start now, and it will be very painful for 12 months. You're not going to get any love for a while. But then once the love starts coming in, it's addictive. Creating something for an audience or for a community is incredibly addictive, and it's fun and it's awesome, and it definitely will draw you business.
Another question: what's the best way to name a video?
That broke up. The best way to do what?
Name a video.
That's a great question too. So I definitely want at least one keyword in there. Let me. I'm going to put this in the chat. This is about how to optimize your channel, and this is from Google. And there's a couple different ways that they tell you can do it. Let's see. I can only put it to organizers, so you can maybe push that out, Shawnee, somehow. But so the video should have a keyword in it. However, if there's different kind of videos. So, for example, this one that I'm showing you here, this is not right here. Where'd it go? Right here. How to dominate your neighbor's lawn. There is nothing in there that's a keyword target. Nobody searches that. But because I have a community now, I went ahead and made a title that was going to really appeal to my subscribers, which it did. In 3 days, I have 2,400 views, which is pretty big for me in 3 days. Now, some of my other ones, how to grow capacity before and after, that's 100% SEO title. The thing is they tell the person what's going to be in the video, and that's what I care about. Now, there's this other thing, that like the BuzzFeed thing, 10 dogs that should have never stuck their head in there, right? And that kind of stuff definitely gets people to click. And if you can do those kind of videos, I think those are great as well. So you want to have a mix of SEO titles that are really just for your subscribers, and then maybe flamboyant. So good mix. The key is that title needs to tell people what they're going to see on that video. Got time for a couple more if you can hear me okay still.
All right, any other questions? Okay, well, I'm sorry about the echo, folks. Not sure what's happening there. Oh, another quick question. How long should you make the videos?
What was it? How much what?
How long should you make the videos? Like, what length should they be?
I love that question too. As long as it takes, I know you guys are going to think, man, this is like that stupid guru kind of answer, right? As long as it takes to get the content out. But I don't want to ham hock you into 3 minutes, because there are some things that I've said a lot of things in 1 minute, and I have other videos that are 20 minutes. And Google does monitor the retention. They like to see engagement, and they consider retention on a video engagement. So if you can say something in a minute, then don't say it in 3. But if you need to say it, if it takes 7 to say it, then that's fine. I would rather you just be concerned about putting out really good content and answering the questions or solving the problems, and not worry about the length. Now, you don't want to have all your videos at 30 seconds, and you don't want to have all of them at 20 minutes either. But if you're doing things naturally, you'll get a nice mix.
Okay. So, Alan, if you want to go to the last slide for me. Okay, so if anybody has any other questions for myself or Allyn, you can reach me at the second email. Sorry, this echo is driving me crazy. So I'm going to make this quick. You can reach out to Allyn, a Hane at launchdigitalmarketing.com, and you can reach out to me at it's Allyn. Okay, he's got a billion emails. Just Google him and you'll find him. So that's it. And you can reach me at di at dealerinspire.com, and we are available for any other questions you may have. So at this moment, just want to let you know about our next webinar. And it is knowing about WES. You got to know WES. Everybody needs to know WES. It's a web efficiency score. And we're going to talk about WES and who he is with Jennifer Strelko next week. So please, please be a part of that. And also, you should have this already in your emails. But please fill out the survey. Let us know, what you thought of today's webinars. Let us know what you'd like to hear and see. I think some of you may have noticed that we've been using a lot of suggestions and coming up with some different content to kind of help meet your needs. But we're all about making sure that you guys know what you need to know. We're also going to widen the scope a little bit to talk more about digital trends and marketing trends, so much that you're able to do these things. So we all know that we have the YouTube plugin and the Dealer Inspire website platform. We all know that, and you guys can use it. Honda Pro Jason talked about that, which is another great webinar to watch in conjunction with Allyn's webinar today. So it's there's so many topics out there that may not deal exclusively with the dashboard, but it will definitely help you as a marketer, because that's ultimately what you are, and as a business and selling your product and getting people to visit you and see you and convert them from a casual visitor to a customer. So please feel free to please keep watching these, fill out the survey, let us know what you guys would like to see. So with that, I want to thank Allyn. I'm not going to unmute him because apparently he was causing all the trouble because he's a troublemaker. And I want to thank you all for listening. And I am Shawnee, a trainer of technologies for innovative dealers such as yourself, and I will see you all next week. Thank you.